أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يكاد البرق يخطف أبصارهم كلما أضاء لهم مشوا فيه وإذا أظلم عليهم قاموا ولو شاء الله لذهب بسمعهم وأبصارهم إن الله على كل شيء قدير. Surah Al Baqarah, ayah number 20. This ayah is actually connected with the ayah number 19 because it's one example. But let's understand it in normal English and then we go to the ayah itself. So the example is given of a person, basically like someone is standing on a cliff and the rain is so much, like we said, saibia is huge. You know, when you're driving and the rain becomes really heavy and you can't see, and even with that little flicker you cannot see the road properly. So it's in that kind of shape. So the rain is happening, there is thunder that's going off, and there's lightning that's happening. Now in here Allah gives example of that, what is happening. That this person who is scared, basically, if he were to take a small step on either of the side, he might fall from the cliff and he will fall and he will die, basically. This is his situation. So he looks for the lightning to happen. When the lightning happens, he takes a step. When the lightning finishes, because around him is all darkness is now, he stays there. Yeah, and he waits for another lightning to happen. So this is his situation. He walks when there's lightning, and when there is no lightning, he stops. Now previously, we understood the situation of these people. The example is of the criminals. Yeah, the example is of the munafiq who has accepted Islam for worldly purposes. So in the previous ayah, which was أَوْ كَصَيِّبٍ مِّنَ السَّمَاءِ, here we understood his situation where it becomes tough, where he is asked basically to go to jihad, where he is asked to spend in the path of Allah, where he is told to leave these culture ways, leave this ways and that way, leave your whatever madhab is saying, hold on to the Quran basically. Yeah, when that kind of situation happens, what is his situation? What he does? He puts his fingers in the air. Yeah, this is his situation. Now in here is the other side of it, where it becomes easy. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Inna Allah Ghafoor Rahim, so the guy is taking interest and so on, and he's saying, Ya Allah is Ghafoor Rahim, in that kind of situation. So he's happy to hear and listen to the ayats of Allah, which are soft, which are lenient, which are in his way, which supports him basically. Yeah, like don't judge me. Quran said, like only Allah knows what is happening in the heart, while the guy might be drinking in front of you. Yeah, it's like don't judge me. Like what are you showing in front of me? So this is what we're going to do. What you show in front of us, this is what we're going to judge you. We don't judge what is happening in the heart, but of course whatever crimes you're showing to us, if you're stealing, you're going to say this guy's a thief. That's what we're going to be saying. Yeah, we don't know what is happening internally. So in here is that situation. When lightning happens, he moves. When the Quran and the Islam is easy, he likes to grab on. He put his Muslimhood on people's faces. Yeah, like it comes the situation of Surah Munafiqun. If Allah gives her opportunity, you'll be able to understand further. Okay, so go to the ayah itself directly now. يَكَادُ الْبَرْقُ يَخْطَفُ أَبْصَارَهُم. The lightning almost snatches away their sight. So it is very close. It hasn't happened yet, but it's very close that it will happen. And this is the quality of the light. Yeah, these are the quality of the Quran, the dalail that Quran brings in front of people, that it snatches away people's sight. Like you have your own understanding, yeah, you have your own sight, and the lighting that comes, which is external. Yeah, so you have your own understanding and things like that. And what is the understanding? What Quran brings is far more greater. Yeah, your brain, your body cannot understand and completely put in himself. Yeah, it's heavy basically. So this we can understand in that fashion as well. So the Quran puts people at shock. This is the situation. That's how amazing its proofs and things are. كُلَّمَا أَضَاءَ لَهُمْ مَشَوْا فِيهِ. Whenever it flashes on them, they walk on. مَشَوْا فِيهِ, they walk on. So the ulama say, وَقِيل مَعْنَاهِ كُلَّمَا نَالُوا غَنِيمَةً وَرَاحَةً فِي الْإِسْلَامِ ثَبَتُوا وَقَالُوا إِنَّا مَعَكُمْ. When their thing comes, yeah, like ghanima comes in or easiness comes in Islam, they say, we are from you. Yeah, and they join with the Muslims. Yeah, this is their situation. So they like to be around. Yeah, the Quran. For example, if you were to tell them, let's recite Quran, yeah, they would be happy, no problem whatsoever. Recite Quran, go on, no problem. Taraweeh, they will be happy to stand behind Taraweeh, long day, night, no problem whatsoever. But as soon as it comes to the understanding and implementation of it, that's it, there's a different problem. Oh, we cannot go in front of Quran because our knowledge is weak, we don't understand, we haven't done these kind of things. Or especially you are not from our madhab basically, you do not understand what we believe in, so we cannot sit in front of you. Yeah, so that kind of mentality comes in. So when it's easy, they're happy, like Taraweeh or just recitation of Quran, memorization of Quran, tajweed of Quran, they're happy to learn it from anyone. But as soon as it comes to the understanding of the Quran, which is coming later on, that's it, that's the end of it. So وَإِذَا أَظْلَمَ عَلَيْهِمْ قَامُوا. And when darkness fall around them, they stand still. So this is now when the Quran brings proof against them. When the Quran becomes something that they do not really believe in. Their agenda, their beliefs, their understanding, their culture, their pakhtu basically is on one side. and now the Quran is on another side. So they stop, that's it. They're not going to give in. They're going to hold their grounds. It's either their way or the highway. They don't want to budge in, basically. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings these examples of these very people in various different places. It says, وَإِنَّ مِنْكُمْ لَمَنْ لَا يُبَطِّئًا فَإِنْ أَصَابَتْكُمْ مُصِيبَةٌ قَالَ قَدْ أَنْعَمَ اللَّهُ عَلَيَّ إِذْ لَمْ أَكُنْ مَعَهُمْ شَهِيدًا. On the other eyes related to this. So basically, when a calamity befalls on the Muslim in jihad and so on, and they die, or they lose their property and so on, they say we were lucky that we were not part of them. Yeah, this is their mentality. But when they win, when victory comes to them and help comes to them, they wish that they were part of them. They wish that they could have received all these pleasures and the names that the people receive and so on. This is one of the situation. Another is وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَنْ يَعْبُدُ اللَّهَ عَلَى حَرْفٍ فَإِنْ أَصَابَهُ خَيْرٌ اطْمَأَنَّ بِهِ وَإِنْ أَصَابَتْهُ فِتْنَةٌ انقلب على وجهه. These are those people who have accepted Islam, who have entered Islam, and they're living on the edge, basically. If Islam is on their side, they're happy. If good comes to them, they're happy. But as soon as some sort of calamity comes in, some sort of stress comes in, where they have to leave some sort of business, where they have to leave some sort of companies, where they have to leave some sort of bad people around them, they say, okay, Islam is too tough, Islam is too extreme, Islam is toxic. This is their mentality. So this is basically those people who want Islam according to their criterions. So these are those people. And there are many others that comes. Allah says, وَإِن يَكُنْ لَهُمُ الْحَقُّ يَأْتُوا إِلَيْهِ مُذْعِنِينَ. But if the truth is in their favor, they come to Him fully submitting. So as soon as, for example, you will have situation that they say, we go our culture of Somalia, and we have a Sharia, or we have our Pakhto system, and we go Quran system. The Quran is on their side. So they will be happy to bring their Masail in front of Quran, in front of Sharia. But if it's on the other side, they will go to that. So basically they are ready to accept and listen to Islam as long as it is in their favor. If it's not in their favor, they've got nothing to do with it. Yeah, so this is their situation. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says further, وَلَوْ شَاءَ اللَّهُ لَذَهَبَ بِسَمْعِهِمْ وَأَبْصَارِهِمْ وَاللَّهِ إِنَّ اللَّهَ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدِيرٌ. If Allah so willed, He could take away their hearing and sight. Allah has power over everything. So basically in here, because these are talking about munafiqun, who have said with their tongue that they believe, that you still have a chance. Do not misuse the cover that Allah has put on us. Because He's talking to us, because we got problems. Internally, we are living, we go a different world in us, and our side is different. Allah is telling us directly that Allah has given us this leash. Allah has given us this little respite. So do not misuse it. No, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is fully capable to take away all those things, like Allah has done it on the other people, which is summun bukmun umyun fahum la yarji'un, which has happened to the kuffar in the other. Khatam Allahu ala qulubihim. Now you give them any source of dalal, you give them any source of proof, they do not want to hear it. Yeah, so this you will be able to come across people, no matter what kind of amazing proofs you give to them, they will say very good point. But what about this? What about this? What about this? They don't want to accept. They want to move on to a different thing. So they have a stamp on their heart, basically. So what is happening in here is we need to understand one point, that these people that Allah says they are not as bad as someone bukmun where they have stamp on their hand, but they're very close to it. They're very close. Because you see when it's raining hard, when there is lightning happening, thunder happening, all those things. Can you see properly? Can you hear properly? These facilities which are normally there, they become very blurry. So Allah is saying that these facilities that you have, they are kind of still there with you, but they are not totally disabled yet. So do not make it disabled. Take advantage of the help or the respite that Allah has given to us. And this is from the sunnah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that Allah gives us chances. Allah gives us chances that we come back to Allah. Because in different places Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَلَوْ شَاءَ اللَّهُ وَلَوْ نَشَاءُ لَطَمَسْنَا عَلَىٰ أَعْيُنِهِمْ فَاسْتَبَقُوا الصِّرَاطَ فَأَنَّىٰ يُبْصِرُونَ وَلَوْ نَشَاءُ لَمَسَخْنَاهُمْ عَلَىٰ مَكَانٍ فَمَا اسْتَطَاعُوا مُضِيًّا وَلَا يَرْجِعُونَ. This is Surah Yasin, that had Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah would take away the facilities that He has given to us. But it is all from His sheer mercy that He has allowed us that we go back to Allah. This is called a respite. This is called a muhla that Allah has given to everyone. You either use it or misuse it. Do not think, like it comes in one of the surah, Ya ayyuhal insanu ma gharraka bi rabbikal kareem. That, oh human being, what has put you in deception concerning your master, the Kareem, the noble? What has? So do not think that Allah's wrath is not coming on us, even though we are lying, cheating, deceiving. We are those people who have problem in our families. We are far away from Quran as a ummah, and the wrath of Allah is not coming on us directly in front of us, like it has come on the previous nation. Do not think that Allah is somehow happy with us, or those people who have their businesses on haram and they're flourishing, and they're getting bigger and bigger. They think that somehow Allah is happy with them. Maybe they are giving something in orphanage, or they are going to Hajj and Umrah. Allah is happy with no. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is only giving a respite, and the total holding of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is coming later on. So now quickly we will summarize what is happening. So let's focus on this inshallah, and then we'll finish. So a sketch has been drawn that abundance of rain is falling, which is the Quran basically, from the sky. While the rain is happening, it brings thunderclaps and lightning. This is basically the Quran orders to fight against the wrong, against the oppressors. Okay, establish Quran in our lives basically, which means consequences of the enemies from the human as well as from the jinns. This will happen. So as soon as that situation relaxes, the troubles or the fights or the fitnas, they come to an end, it becomes, it relaxes basically. When some people are kind of given a breathing space, what happens? They put their Muslim hood on people's faces, yeah? Or if they have some sort of agendas or some sort of fame or some sort of worldly riches that they're receiving, they will gather and they will say they're Muslim and so on. But as soon as another trial comes in, another call for jihad, another sacrifice that they need to give, what happens? They stop and they hesitate. They don't want to go any further. This is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is the law of Allah, that what He does, that He does not take accountability straight away. Like we have studied this in Surah Tariq, yeah? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells Rasul, فَمَهِّلِ الْكَافِرِينَ أَمْهِلُهُمْ رُوَيْدًا. Give respite to these kuffar. Yeah, give the respite to them. The right of Allah is coming, okay, if Allah will. So this is basically the situation. What has happened so far in here? Because this is talking to those people that the people who will be spreading the Quran, da'i of the Quran. That all people understand, in here Allah has given us these groups and their traits. You will be able to see people who are completely stubborn. They will not hear whatsoever. Yeah, they don't care whatsoever. They will stand and they will be aggressive. This will be one kind of people. Then you will be able to see other people who will be smiling and happy faces and saying MashaAllah to you and so on, but they will not accept either. So do not ever doubt that there is a problem with the Quran itself or the message that you are giving. It is a problem within those people. Look at all those three groups. Some accept, some reject, some stands up against it. So the problem is not within the Quran. Otherwise no one would have accepted. It would have been same response from everyone, yeah, that it does not make sense and this and so on. So this is not the situation. It is not a problem within the Quran or the message that you are giving. It is a problem within them. And Allah explained it very easily in the last few ayats, but we don't have time that we could make it easier in that fashion. So that's why we have to kind of break it down. But you understood, yeah? The first example is basically of the kuffar, where what happens is someone lights the fire, no one takes benefit from it, Allah takes it away. And those people who did not take benefit, they become blind, deaf and dumb. These are kuffar. The da'wah is given to them, they do not take benefit from it, they close their heart on it. So they are left in complete darkness whatsoever. There's no darkness from outside, and they have lost the darkness of the eyesight. Every facility is completely gone. Then there are other people who they only enjoy or only take benefit from when there is a bit of lightning, when there is a bit of respite for them, and they do not hold on completely to the Quran. They do not take the benefit from the rain that is coming down. They do not see the benefit and the fruit of the rain, but they only there for their own personal agendas, and they don't take benefit from it whatsoever. The other example, which is of the muttaqeen, we don't really need to have an example because that's pretty clear in itself, and those people are easy to understand, while these criminals, they're tough to understand. So Allah gives us example in that fashion. The next segment is starting from ayah number 21 till I think 39. Inshallah we'll discuss this in another lesson. Wallahu alam.